Another day, another win for the Utah Jazz. Tonight it was against the Miami Heat. This is the Hoopsner postgame show. All right, guys. It's just, at this point, I get, just to the point where I expect the Jazz to win every single game. I actually have no idea when the Jazz are going to lose a game. They are playing at such a high level now. It's wild. Before we talk about the Jazz, let's talk about the Heat. I was excited to see the Heat. Tyler Hero was back. He had been out with COVID protocols. I don't know how long he had been. I think 3 or 4 games. Let me know in the comments, Heat fans, how long he was out. But it was nice to see him back. He had some nice little moments, but it looks like he has a little bit more, just a little rust on him. Playing in Utah altitude might not have helped. Kenny says, we take those. Solid win, even with a terrible performance. Exactly. That's what we're going to talk about. That's why you guys join this channel, because you're brilliant. You know what to do. But anyways, the Miami Heat, they are a team that I was kind of interested to see the Jazz go against, because they're not one of those teams that has like 1 or 2 focal points on their offense with their, whether it's like James Harden or, LeBron James kind of manning that attack. And, it's like if you're playing the Lakers, it's LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and that's like the main head of the snake, and then everything else is role players. With the Miami Heat, you're looking at a team that has multiple weapons. You have Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson. You have, like we mentioned, Tyler Hero. Bam Adebayo can initiate and do things. So I was interested to see how the Jazz would match up against a good Miami Heat team that's really solid. And they came out, and actually in the first quarter, it was a little interesting. They really gummed up what the Jazz do. They were like switching. They were clogging passing lanes, doing a really nice job of holding the Jazz, keeping the Jazz from doing what the Jazz like to do on offense. And, you got to give credit to the Heat. They kept the Jazz from shooting from 3 really well. They just did. I mean, some of that was just the Jazz missing shots, but they were contesting well, defending well, and it kept the Jazz from shooting. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. The Jazz still won by like 20 or whatever the end score was. I'm not sure, but the Jazz were up by 20 for most of this game after like the third quarter. Donovan Mitchell comes into the third quarter and just said, I'm taking over. And he went on his own little mini like 7-0 run where he scored 2 buckets and a 3. And then he goes out and he just gets to the line and gets more buckets. And it's just an impressive thing from this. I'm honestly in shock with how good this Jazz team is. I don't expect to watch. I mean, I've kind of looked back at the Jazz teams from like 2-3 years ago where I thought, this is a pretty good Jazz team. You see this Jazz team now, this is an incredible Jazz team playing at a rate we've never seen the Jazz before. Literally, it's the best start in franchise history. I think it's 22-5 now, 21-5, 22-5. Incredible. Kenny, such great teamwork. You are right, Kenny. It's like the way they're passing the ball. I mean, last game they had 4 guys with 25-plus points. And so this team is the ultimate Hydra. So, yeah, like we mentioned, didn't hit their threes, and they still won. And the reason the Jazz really won this game is, one, Rudy Gobert is the defensive player of the year. And anyone who had questions about that, go watch this game. He was absolutely monstrous. Held Bam Adebayo and everyone else in check when they came to the rim. I mean, just absolutely devastating. Gobert is at another level right now. Just unreal defensive play. I mean, it's kind of the unsung thing about this Jazz streak. Good Jazz fans will always recognize that Rudy Gobert is the reason this win streak is happening in a lot of ways, because he's just holding the paint. So that's why when the Jazz have a night like this where they can't shoot threes, Rudy Gobert keeps them in the game because of his dominant play. The other guy that really changed this game was this guy right here, Royce O'Neale. Royce O'Neale had a near 5-by-5 night tonight. Just monstrous. His defense on Jimmy Butler was incredible. If you look at Jimmy Butler's line tonight, 3 for 10, 30% from the field. He only took 2 threes and made one of them. Minus 22 for the night for Jimmy Butler. Unbelievable. Bam Adebayo, 7 for 17, 41% from the field, minus 11. That's called the Rudy Gobert effect. So Rudy Gobert and Royce O'Neale brought their lunch pails to work today and just dominated. Impressive stuff from those two. It was interesting later in the game, not later in the game, but as soon as he came in, Jordan Clarkson, the Heat double teamed him. Their goal was to keep Jordan Clarkson from showing up tonight. And they did a good job for the most part. I actually get to the point now where I get worried that the Jazz will not, like, Clarkson won't get that 3-point streak that he has, and I actually get anxiety about it. That's when you know you're a strange person and a strange Jazz fan, and when you're worrying about stuff like that. So they double teamed Jamie Clarkson, and guess what? the Jazz just found other ways to score. George Niang had 4 threes tonight. So what happens is this team is a Jazz hydra where they tried to cut off that Clarkson head, and you just had Niang, Mieoni showed up, Donovan Mitchell scored, Rudy Gobert, and Bojan Bogdanovic, whose 3-point shot, quietly Bojan Bogdanovic is in kind of a mini 3-point slump right now, although 2 for 6 from 3 from Bojan, and that's a slump. That's how good a shooter he is. But he was 7 for 13 from the field, 53%. That's because he was just going to the rim and taking advantage of matchups, and it was impressive. Bojan Bogdanovic is back completely, and he is filling that role. Hopefully that ankle he turned is not too bad. Kenny, Niang was hot from 3. Absolutely. Dihon Kim, they can't win without shooting threes. Absolutely wrong. Royce was mini AK-47 tonight. That's right. Dihon Kim, that's right. He was shades of AK-47. It's impressive. He's athletic. His defense is just stifling, and he is like strong. Like you can tell just Royce O'Neale is just like a brick. And if you try to bust through him, it's not happening. That's why he was able to guard freaking Giannis last night. It's impressive stuff. Impressive stuff. So how do I say that? Dohyun. Is that how I say it? Dohan Kim. Dohan, maybe. We'll say that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, Dohan. Carlos Rivera, 199. Don't need threes to win. It's masterful. That is right, Carlos. You're the man, Carlos. Thank you for that. Impressive stuff from the Jazz. Impressive stuff from the Hoops Nerd Channel members. Not a ton else to say with this game, guys. Donovan Mitchell is facilitating like crazy with his team. Donovan Mitchell, 42% from the field. He didn't have the greatest night from 3 for 12. But he pours in, let's see, Donovan only had 2 assists tonight. 5 assists. Wait, let's see, am I on the right? Okay, guys, guess what? I actually thought this was from last night. 2 games in a row, Jordan Clarkson, I'm going to double check this because that's wild. Jordan Clarkson has 2 games in a row with 5 assists. 5 assists. Let's see, let's check last game. Boston box score. Let's hurry quick. The internet is holding up really nicely. Jordan Clarkson last night. Oh my gosh, 5 assists. Playmaking Jordan Clarkson is here. Are you serious? Dohan, I'm going to go with that, baby. If I'm wrong, just let me know. But yes, you're amazing. Kenny, this Heat team looks like a different team. Oh, you retracted it. That's okay. That's okay. We all make mistakes. But that's 2 games in a row with Jordan Clarkson, 5 assists. That's unbelievable. You would have never seen this. You would have never seen this from Jordan Clarkson a couple years ago, even last year, because Jordan Clarkson's role before was buckets. It was to score buckets, and that's what he does. He has now changed. So in a game where they were double teaming Clarkson, what does he do? He gets 5 assists. That's amazing. I'm actually like kind of shocked that we see this. 5 assists in 2 games in a row. That's incredible. Jordan Clarkson deserves all the praise for adjusting his game. And that's really what the story of this Jazz team is. Oh, Jorge Arizaga, 50 Mexican pesos, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias a mis amigos en Mexico. Muchas gracias. Me agradezco. I think I said that right. But you've just got to be impressed with this Jazz team who has just found a way to adjust their game and evolve so that everyone on this team is scoring. Everyone on this team is scoring and sharing the ball. They're just not, I mean, even Bojan Bogdanovic and Jordan Clarkson are very similar in that their main role is to score, and they are passing and facilitating the ball. Bojan Bogdanovic had 2 assists tonight. You know, that's just him moving the ball within the offense, making great decisions. And every player on this team is doing it. And they're not turning the ball over that much. Like, it's crazy how they're turning the ball over. Let's see, tonight, 17 turnovers. That's relatively high. But when you consider that they had 17 turnovers, 22 assists, I guess you'll take that. But they are just like moving the ball and scoring and creating great opportunities. You know, Rudy Gobert had 27 points last night, and tonight Rudy Gobert had, oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong stat line again because we switched back to the Bucks. But that Rudy Gobert is scoring, and we know that Rudy Gobert is not very capable of always creating his own shot. But it doesn't matter with this team because you have so many guys giving him the ball. Let's see, tonight Rudy Gobert scored tonight, this is bad radio, 16 points. I mean, Rudy Gobert had a monster night, 16 points, 3 blocks, only 2 turnovers. Fantastic. They are just making the right play all the time. Thank you, Jorge. I actually speak Spanish. Did you know? Hablo español. Más o menos right now. It's been like 15 years, but I speak it here and there. Anyways, the Jazz are just evolving. They are getting better. They're like the freaking Borg in Star Trek. They are just assimilating what the team is doing, and then they just beat you. They're just so good. I can't tell you. They really are a Hydra, and it's a 7 or 8 head Hydra. And guess what? On the bench, you have Niang, who came in and played nice defense tonight. Had some really nice hustle plays. You have Derek Favors, who's just quietly having a very solid season, putting up big numbers and just great defense and passing and just making the right play every night. He's just solid. You have George Niang hitting threes. You have Juwan Morgan, who sits in the rafters, that can come in and play backup center if you need him to. There's just so many weapons on this team. Joe Ingles, we haven't even mentioned. Him just making the right play. Tonight he had 2 bad turnovers. But Joe Ingles playing like last night, 27 points, just playing incredible in Mike Conley's absence. And Mike Conley isn't even playing. This is all without Mike Conley, guys. It's wild. It's just wild how good this team is and how much they can score and what they can do. It's just impressive stuff, guys. And I can't tell you how fun it is to watch. I hope you guys are appreciating this. I have never seen anything like this before. The last I can remember the Jazz playing this well and playing this good is 1998 when they were Karl Malone and John Stockton, 2 Hall of Famers. And guess what? The way they're playing right now, they got 2 Hall of Famers on their team as we speak, and his name is Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. And if they go to the finals, that's a lock. That's a Hall of Fame lock because you've got 2-time Defensive Player of the Year Rudy, going to be 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and Donovan Mitchell, who now is going to, I believe it's going to be his 3rd All-Star. I can't remember, 2nd or 3rd this game. All of a sudden, that Hall of Fame resume is starting to build. And so you're looking at a team that is just, it's just incredible and might be, I mean, I don't know. I want to see more from them. I mean, obviously the Utah Jazz of 1998 were playing with hand checking and different rule sets that really impeded them at times. But this team is playing with non-hand checking in a 3-point era without a top 5 player. I mean, honestly, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert right now are claiming spots in the top 10, I would argue. But you're not playing with a top 5 guy, and they are finding ways to score. Back in that day, Utah won those games with top 5 Karl Malone all the time and top 10 John Stockton. And they were just like a buzzsaw. But this team is so well-rounded, where you have so many guys just dominate. Guys, I'm about to the end here, but I wanted to just give a shout out to the All-Stars. So anyways, guys, that's all I got to say. This team is creeping up to be one of the best teams of all time. It's really great. They are right there with the 1998, and they've already beaten them in terms of just like the record. 22-5, I think. I can't remember. I don't think NBA.com's updated. Maybe it's 21. But they're number 1 in the league, not just the Western Conference, the NBA. Anyways, guys, that's all I got to say. But before we go, I want to give a shout out to the All-Stars, who are the producers of this show. All-Star. And if I miss you, let me know in the comments. I'll apologize profusely. But All-Star, let's see. All-Star, Robert Hall. Thank you, Robert Hall. All-Star, Kyle Christensen. DW. Let's see. David Lee. Jorge Arizaga. Did I miss anyone? Justin TYH. You guys are the real heroes. And All-Star Patrick Akubo. Yes, I think we got them all. If I didn't, let me know. I'm sorry. We're going to build a post-game thing. I'm lazy sometimes. I got to get that done. But you guys are amazing. Like and subscribe to the channel. Bryce Harper, 199. Thank you, my man. This is a team that went to the finals last year. I don't know if I understand, Bryce, but I think it's a team that's going to the finals this year is what I'm saying. And Utah, they might have messed around and gone to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble last year. Maybe that's what you're saying. I could be wrong. In the bubble last year, had they had Conley's shot fall, or if Donovan Mitchell didn't get that dumb mistake from the referees who called him for an 8 seconds in that first game, then, oh, that's right. You guys are right. That's what you're saying. The Heat was a team that went to the finals, and they dominated them. That's right. Thank you, guys. Assist from the chat. That's right. This is a team that went to the finals last year, and the Jazz just had no trouble with them. Does anyone have any questions of whether the Jazz would sweep the Heat in a playoff series right now? Not me. But yeah, Heat look like a different team, but at the same time, the Jazz look like a different team too. They make other teams look not very good. I cannot wait to watch the Lakers play the Jazz. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And I bet you guys can't either. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to talk in Super Chat, just join. Hit that button right there. And you can join the Super Chat, join the Hoops Nerd channel. It's really fun. And I appreciate everyone who's joined. You're amazing. Guys, I will